All right, thank you one more time. The program is still here this morning on ITV. I told you that we're going to be having a second segment here, and we are so privileged to have Money Mike, Modesty, Itwa, and also Bashir Kadiri. Gentlemen, you're welcome to this program.
Good morning.
So let me say Happy Democracy Day.
Same to you. Yeah.
All right, so there's no doubt we must celebrate our democracy. We must celebrate our union. We must celebrate our self-rule. Nigeria is preparing for another election, 2023 presidential election, and so much is so desired. So much is so expected. Now, the big question is, 2023 presidential election, can it fit in? Can it answer the democratic question in our country? Money Mike, Modesty.
Thank you for the question you have asked. I don't think I understand what they mean by democratic question.
Yeah, when we say
This is omnibus.
Okay.
The way you have asked the question.
Okay.
But if I want to narrow it down to into segments, I want to say democratic question as in electoral process.
The electoral process, people having their way, people allowed to make their choice,
yes,
their choice being counted.
Very smooth
Okay.
and fast in telling you that the year 2023, politically as far as Nigeria is concerned, the democratic political system is going to be a different year. I'm talking from my conviction in my spirit that 2023 will not be like all other elections. A lot of things will happen, and Nigeria shall experience a new positive change.
Okay.
For now, all we need to do as Nigerians is to ensure that every household mobilizes. Every child that is of voting age 18 and above must be mobilized to go and get registered and get a PVC. Our religious organizations, the Muslims, the Christians, our traditional institutions, our John Weres, our youth leaders, just mention it, all influencers. It is the time for us to mobilize. We cannot continue to sit down, fold our hands akimbo, and allow the rot that we have found ourselves to continue.
Okay.
2023 is going to be a decisive year for Nigeria and for Nigerians, politically.
Okay. Now, Bashir Kadiri, decisive in our elections, in our electoral process, decisiveness can only be assured if people decide to really turn out, to really take their destiny by their hands. Well, there's no doubt that one thing that stands clear now is the number of prospective voters that are coming out to get themselves registered. But the biggest suspect of this all is the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. A lot of prospective voters are not too confident with INEC.
Now, let me tell you, first, let me appreciate ITV for giving us a window to ventilate our opinions and perceptions on national issues of this nature. The future of our country is in our hands. It's not a choice. That's what God has made it. We have no choice about it. It's either we decide or we are in the precipice. Now, I will tell you this for free. When you anticipate, when you expect that people will not respond, it's when they respond. History have told us severally. In Ghana, it has happened. Nkrumah was like a demigod. And he has succeeded in saying, look, I'm going to be a life president of Sajefo of Ghana. And the people of Ghana were there. Everybody listens. But surprisingly, I will tell you two things you cannot say as a human being, but be careful with saying them. Surprisingly, on his way back from the UK or the US, middle of the air, he heard that a coup had happened in Ghana. And that he should just don't come home, he should just go over. That was a joke. Shortly after I got on that message again, that is the way he ended up in Guinea-Bissau, where he died on exile. Now what I'm saying is that change is natural. It's part of the human definition. You cannot change it. And those who make things impossible make them inevitable. The point we are today in Nigerian political history is that Nigerians are getting more informed. But unfortunately, our leaders don't know that we are getting more informed. There's an illusion that Nigerians don't mind them. They are always complacent. Whatever we want, we can just get it. It's not money, we will spend it. Edo is a reference point to possible change of perceptions. And those who are in power don't see it coming until it hits them hard. That's the irony of life. But it's not my design. That's the way nature have done it. So two things you cannot say. Nothing will happen and I'm in charge. You can't say them. Only God can say nothing will happen. Only God can say I'm in charge. If a man plays the role of God, prepare for the trouble. Nigeria today have three options. Two of the options are theater artists. One of them is what we can begin to think, where do we go from here?
That's one of them.
No, I don't want to run into specifics. Yeah. That's why I did a what they call it, a placeholder to replace the discussion.
Yeah.
Now, anybody can come up and become president among this choice that I've brought to us. Is it not true?
Yeah.
The delegate gave us a choice. Delegate themselves are theater artists. We saw the whole drama that played out. But again, that is democracy. Whether I like it or not, that is the process. That is what the rule says. But what is the final result? That is the position we're looking at now. Now, the position is this, that Nigerians are now talking to each other one by one, street by street, home by home. Nobody in the north do not understand that there's a danger, essential danger. Nobody in the south is not aware. And nobody in the east is not aware. We are all aware. So the issue of, oh, they don't know, they are just in the village, don't mind us, is a lie. People are changing their perception about governance. Now, the second thing I want to mention to you is that the story that has been happening to our country is that it's their business, not our business. I'm not a politician. I mean, I go down, that's their business. That's what has been happening. So people just say it doesn't concern me. But the time people are not saying it concerns me, the leaders still believe that we remain in the yesterday until the hurricane will come and do the needful. So for me, Nigerians should stop blame game. That's what democracy is all about. Democracy says participate. Participatory choice of making choice of who rule you. That's what the law says. So which means that it's not saying blame them. It's saying you take responsibility. The time has come for Nigeria to stop blame game. I blame Evans, I blame my brother here, I blame this, it's over. Let's think that this country, if it collapses, we are all in trouble. Nobody survives it. We are sitting under one roof. Democracy says that the people will decide who rule them. Am I correct? And so in this discussion, the average Nigerian man, you'll be surprised, you'll be shocked that the man in the deepest of the villages, he says he wants to go and vote that day on the election day. And I know that God will give Nigeria victory.
Okay. Now, Morning Mike Modesty, you see, one thing that stands clear in our country is the voting pattern. I mean, I'm old enough to tell you that the North seems to have always have it all because they seem to have the population when it comes to election results and all that. But that's also give rise to some persons to want to think that is a two-way thing, North and South. And for most people, that is also not too heady with our democracy. We are getting ready for the 2023 presidential election, and we still have issues on the fear of apathy during election time and all that. With all this mindset and all that, are you sure we are preparing for the 2023 presidential election and for our democracy?
My dear Evans, whether the North has always had the highest number of votes or not, I want to let you know here that the greatest sufferers of the pains of our present democracy are our brothers and sisters in the North. The ravaging effect of insecurity in Nigeria is 90% of the Northerners. The ravaging effect of poverty in Nigeria is 98% of the Northerners. How many people do you think still go to farm in the North? The North is known for farming, agriculture. How many people go to farm in the North today? Virtually all states of the northern part of this country have been ravaged by insecurity. Farmers no longer go to farm. Children have been abducted from their schools. The big men among them are perpetually wanting them to remain in that state, whereas their children are all over the world, attending best schools all over the world. Millions of Nigerian youth today, both from the north, the east, and the west, and the south, are at home in our universities. Are the polytechnics spared? The higher institutions are they all spared? Is it affecting only the South? It's even worse in the North. The Ahmad schools that were established by Jonathan's administration, they have all been left to rot. Is that affecting the South? But the North. All the IDP camps you find in Nigeria, 99.999% of the people in those IDP camps are from the North. All those you find in all our cities in the entire southern part of Nigeria, in all the remote hamlets, the villages, the cities, migrating, they are all from the North. Then you want to tell me, the time has come. They will be given a reorientation. All that they have been doing, the votes they have been casting, what good has it brought for them? And you want to keep on recycling the calibers who don't mean well, whose children will not school in this country, who will have their children overseas. As we on strike, our children are all at home, and you see them doing graduation ceremonies overseas with their children, snapping photographs, shaming us to our faces, and you want us to partially remain like that? Capital no. Now the northern region of Nigeria is more vexed than the southern part of this country. The borders are porous. Don't forget, when the election is coming, people from Niger, Chad, Mali, all of them, they allow them free entry and free exit. Why are we suffering what we are suffering today? Most of those who are killing us and slaughtering us, many of them, I tell you, are not core Nigerians. But because we have allowed them unfettered access during political era and all that, they found their way to all the nooks and crannies of all our forests in this country.
All right.
Now let me tell you, the day of reckoning is coming, 2023. You will be shocked, amazingly shocked, that in 2023, the movement is on. The democratic revolution is on. It's not going to be by force. Now, for your information, be told that those who are interested in making Nigeria work for Nigerians are now more than those who have unlawfully aggregated all our wealth and are using it to oppress us.
Okay.
The
Now,
day of reckoning is 2023.
okay. All right. Morning, Mike Modesty. I can understand your emotions. You know, it's okay. Now, Bashir Kadiri, the greatest challenge that we have is this seeming two-party structure system. We have various political parties in the country. There's no doubt about that. But right from 1999, it has either been the PDP, the AC, or the APC as it were right now. So other political parties are also there. In this election, it's also coming out again, two major political parties taking the scene. Only recently, we heard that Atiku Abubakar, the PDP's candidate, is already wooing Peter Obi of the Labour Party. For most people, this is not a good story. They want, you know, various candidates to stand on their own so that we can have democratic elections. I want to comment on this.
Now, let me tell you this, Evans. It's not true that in 1999 there was APC.
No, I mean we had two parties.
No, I'm coming. It's not true. Don't forget that in Lagos you had AD and other part of Western Nigeria. You had, of course, the current disposition of PDP, who of course sets the current structure and the foundation. And that foundation is what we are still suffering today. I use the word suffering. Let me tell you why. The character of persons that have to play in those spaces at that time and the credentials for picking those who play in that space at that time were suspects. It's now manifesting. If a child becomes a rascal or a street boy, go and look at his history. Part of his history, you know that is why she must be a rascal. At that age, he became a rascal. That's why we're always saying that please let the primary school be strong, so the children will have a good foundation that will not derail them. What happened in Nigerian political history in 1999 was that the worst of all was choosing, because of his worstness in the system, to become a parliamentarian and whatever political office they were occupying. So that became a standard and a culture that will flow in. That if you don't have the tawdry tendencies, you cannot drive politics in Nigeria. That is what happened. Now, back to what you were asking. The issue at point now is that we have 18 aspirants running the race. I'm sure you are aware of that. We have 18 of them running the race. Kwankwaso just recently also was picked, and NPP, Peter Obi, Labour Party, of course, Atiku Abubakar, PDP, Asiwaju, of course, of the APC, and other political parties are running. Don't forget that by 1999, it was clear that these guys were driving the process. And what did they say? They told us somewhere at the middle of their reign that Obolafo then was chairman of the PDP,
Yes.
that they were going to rule for 60 years. 3 months after Obolafo said so, or 4 months, he was removed. By the same party, he predicted to rule for 60 years. That's part of history. Now, I'll tell you this. There is nowhere you do not have this kind of development, except otherwise the pace at which it goes varies from country to country. Recently, the APC we are talking about today that is now ruling, what happened? It was a merger that came like a storm, and the shock was terrible. And today, that's a hurricane that has blown. The story of whether we enjoyed it or not is a different ballgame entirely. But I'm just telling you that these are possibilities that are driving. So at that time, a third force came on board, where the CPC, the AD, and others came together and said, let us move and change this scenario. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So who says that is not possible in 2023 election? Who says? Who says that the people are not thinking? They are not right. People are thinking, how do we go from this point? Now anchoring what you mentioned.
Are you trying to say
about
that
the wooing of Peter Obi?
Yeah.
These are all part of the trade that you do in politics. It's not strange to us. Even you sitting down here, they are come and woo you. Come and become a media experts to help us drive the media. But whether you accept the offer or not is a different ballgame entirely. I have a choice to advance. You want to have a choice to say no. So let us not play this. Let us not give it a media perception.
Yeah, but we must talk about it.
Let's allow Obi to tell us what he wants. Let us not make it look as if we're already doing conjectures that is already going to happen. For me, until the man in the seat tells me, I am not going to go there to speak about it.
Okay. Now my modesty.
Finally, hanging it on this position is that today, one of the interesting things that is happening in Nigerian politics now is that many people are becoming more interested in what happens. More people. It's like a movement, mass movement. People are moving. If you watch carefully, the scene has changed. The story of how much the money they spent in the last election was twice what they spent in the election before that.
Yeah.
Which means that there's a lot of interest now.
Yeah.
The delegate perception, which everybody is talking about, some talk about, oh, the money was too much and all of that. For me, I don't look at that. What I'm looking at is
the electorate.
It's electorate.
Yeah.
Let the electorate now sit down and say, this is where we want to go to.
All right,
get your PVC and register.
Money Mike,
no matter how small you are, you will vote.
Okay, quickly, way forward, Money Mike.
The way forward is, I see Nigeria in 2023, where a heavy storm, political storm, will take away the umbrella and turn it into strength. I see a Nigeria that will be in 2023 where a very heavy inferno will pick the brooms and burn them into ashes. And in 2023, I see a new Nigeria where the man, the woman, and the children will sit on the chair of power.
All right, so we will leave that with you now.
But let me leave this with you.
Yeah.
For me,
you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah.
For me,
yeah.
My perception is this: is that I do not believe in saying it. I believe in doing it. Nigerians, let us stop blame game. Let us do.
Let's
our
be
role.
involved.
Let's be involved.
Yeah.
It's our country.
Yeah.
Let's together say it's our own, not their own.
Yeah.
It's not their. It's our business. And so, if we accept that drive to drive it as our business, then the change we are looking for will come.
Okay.
And
All
we're
right.
happy.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Bashir Kadiri and also Money Mike Modesty. So let me say Happy Democracy Day one more time. Money Mike is already dressed up for the celebration.
No, there's no celebration. I'm not happy.
All right. So viewers out there, thank you so much. All right. So there's a guy with us this morning. He's good with numbers, and he comes here almost every time, most especially festivity like this. So he's going to be talking about June 12th, the number 12, and also talking about Democracy Day. Please stay tuned.